With an old firm game, I think we were dizzy by the action of that game at Parkhead. Now we're dizzy again by the atmosphere here. And what's Sebastian Rosenthal going to make of this? He's 20 years old. He has played more than 20 internationals for Chile, but he's one for the future.
Oh, definitely. And what a wonderful reception we got here. I was just like you and I before Richard handed to us here. There is something, I say it every time, there is something special about this fixture. I don't care what anyone says. I might be slightly biased, Tyler, slightly biased. There's something about the New Year fixture, whether it's at ALBERTZ, whether it's at Celtic Park.
Well, the crowd now around 50,000 at Ibrox these days. But the Celtic contingent hoping to see something that they feel is long overdue. A win over the old enemy. 8 matches without a win. And Rangers in pole position again. For that match at Parkhead in November, only 7 weeks ago, Celtic were top on goal difference going into it. They had their best chance for a long time to really undermine Rangers in the championship. But they lost vital ground on their own ground. And the 2 games they have in hand at the moment will seem little consolation if Rangers get the joy of victory tonight. And Celtic would be 14 points adrift. This time of year, it's a statutory weather report for you. But Glasgow hasn't had too much in the way of severe winter conditions today. Most of the snow has gone. There's even been 1 or 2 bouts of drizzle. And the pitch, with the protection of undersoil heating, is in very, very good order.
1 or 2 we're seeing actually, Mark, this on the bit on the soft side. It's been that good. The undersoil heating's worked a treat.
Must be the only one in the country at the moment.
Yeah, it is. It looks great, Nick. No excuses for either side. It's there, the ball's there to be slicked about. And as this fixture often is, it will have to be slicked about very quickly early on.
But it is a strange game in one sense, in that both camps have had to wait really until the 11th hour to announce their teams. That's not because of old firm secrecy. Genuine concerns, primarily over illness. 1 or 2 injuries to be checked today as well. But Walter Smith certainly had to have his thinking cap on in the past couple of hours before he announced his team. And some of the players who are fit, like Alan McLAREN and Joachim Björklund, have played very little football. So, although they're physically fit, will they be match fit? There's a lot of imponderables, more than usual, about this match. You
can go 2 ways, I think, with players who might or might not be match fit, Mark. This is the type of fixture where, once you're out there, your body's just full of adrenaline, pumping away through your veins. And that, I think, will help players like McLAREN, like Björklund. It might just be a little bit doubt about the fitness. Even Paul McSTAY, Phil O'Donnell haven't played a great deal of football this year. But I think this atmosphere, this occasion will help that. Is that McCoy, the skipper? No?
Well, he's never bashful when it comes to going to the front of the line, is he?
Can't be.
Ali McCoy playing an old firm game for the 49th time. And behind him, the heartbreaker of many a Celtic team, Andy Gorham. But no Richard Gough, no Brian Laudrup, and severe doubts about Paul Gascoigne until the last minute. And where is Gascoigne? But he's not been well, but he's caught up in the electricity that this match produces. Well, we've seen the players, they haven't yet. Well, the teddy bear mascot for the team, known as the Teddy Bears in these parts. Well, it doesn't need words. It's quite unique. Paul McSTAY, MBE. Congratulations to him. After a long absence with an ankle problem, well, he's timed his return for the second game of his comeback. And here they come. Well, let's bring you right up to date with the team news, because there is so much of it. The flu bug robs Rangers of the major influences of Richard Goff and Brian Laudrup. Andy Gorham and Paul Gascoigne have made it, though. Joachim Björklund also returns to a back three after a 7-game absence with a hamstring strain. Craig Moore is given a holding role in midfield. He's done it before against Celtic. And just the one out-and-out striker in Ali McCoist.
That's right, Martin. Although there have been one or two changes, the one thing that Walter Smith can rely on is a very reliable, the back three, and they will be very important tonight, you feel. Got good width with Cleland, he'll come there. Robertson, in good goal-scoring form, will come up there. I think we've got Gascoigne here, but you watch Paul Gascoigne. He's just going to play in there, in behind McCoist. And I think Moore will just be drop off. He'll be the holding player. It's almost going to be like a little diamond system in that midfield area. They rely on McCoist to get the ball, hold it. And I think even without Laudrup, Gascoigne will be asked to do the kind of job that Brian Laudrup's done so well for Rangers.
Flu in the Celtic camp as well. Tosh McKinley is ill. Phil O'Donnell, who has been under the weather as well, he's switched to the left. Brian O'Neill brought back to become a third central defender. A lot of thought over the midfield. Peter Grant ruled out, but David Hanna gets his first full game for his new club, and the notable name of Paul McSTAY. And with Tommy Burns mindful of the work of CADETE and CANIO in attack at Aberdeen on Boxing Day, Pierre van Hooijdonk is back on the bench.
Yeah, this is a 1-11 that could easily be a 4-4-2. Phil O'Donnell could easily be playing in midfield, but we're led to believe that it's going to be like for like. The 3 centre-backs at the back, the 2 wing-backs. It's going to be important how Paul McSTAY not only lasts, but how he influences the game for Celtic. And if they can get enough of the ball, and if they can get good service to CADETE and the CANIO, the one thing about the 2 front men, they've got good movement, and that always troubles any kind of defence.
So it's Celtic to kick off the match under the stewardship of Jim McCluskey, who's handled many of these occasions. So Celtic trying to end this run of 8 matches without a win over the old enemy, and in doing so trying to improve their chances of stopping Rangers making it 9 titles in a row. Header forward by Petric, and McCoist sent tumbling by Alan Stubbs. Gascoigne, now ALBERTZ. McCoist pulling away. He was the only player that the German had to aim at in the centre.
That's a tough ball tonight. If you've only got Ali McCoist as your front man to play a ball like that, it's going to have to be more carefully played in. Unless he gets Gascoigne up in front with him.
Away by Tom Boyd. The shape of so many recent meetings has been so similar. Celtic invariably chasing the championship, chasing after Rangers in it. They chase vital wins with gusto, but Rangers have sat back, drawn their sting, and killed them off on the break. McLAREN trying to make some progress down the Rangers' right.
Important areas, both wing-back areas. I think if it's going to be tight in the midfield area, both 3 against 3, and that might be the area where there's a little bit of space. Whoever uses that well, uses it better, will get a nice advantage.
McNamara trying to utilise CADETE's fearsome power in the air. Partridge, McLAREN and Björklund, the three at the back for Walter Smith. And Gascoigne with licence to roam. Whether he's got the full energy to roam, we must wait and see. Adrenaline is a wonderful thing and can sustain you. And Gascoigne will need big helpings of that to fight his particular flu problem.
For Celtic's three centre-backs, it's all about concentration, Mark. If you've only got McCoist to mark, then they've got to be very aware of runners. People like ALBERTZ and particularly Gascoigne, I think, will be the main two.
And here's Finn O'Donnell, who's made his name really as a midfield player, but did start in his early days at Motherwell as a left-back. I know Tommy Burns would have liked to have harnessed O'Donnell's energy in midfield, but the loss of Tosh McKinley meant the switch and the chance, particularly for David Hanna, signed only last Friday from Dundee United, where he was somewhat in dispute with the management there. Robertson. Impeded.
Well, he's a little unlucky, McNamara, there. I'm not so sure David Robertson would have got a hold of that. He's earned the free kick, he's pushed it. McNamara didn't do an awful lot wrong.
Can Rangers capitalise on the free kick and manufacture an early chance here?
There's half a chance.
McCoist always on the move in the middle.
I think O'Donnell's the one who ends up getting the head on it. Yeah, McCoist and O'Donnell go for it.
Rangers lining up on the edge of the Celtic penalty area. Frantic early minutes here at Ibrox. Still very much, as the corner comes, to not what Rangers hope for. Celtic still with a very raw young goalkeeper, Stuart Kerr, who started the last 9 and performed so capably against Rangers at Celtic Park. Here he comes. Only 22 years old. First season of first-team football.
I'd be looking for him to play as well as he did in the match at Celtic Park, what, 7 weeks ago?
7 weeks in which the season has turned back Rangers' way. But it's a season that's not over yet. Here's McLAREN, who's missed the vast majority of it with injury. Björklund, whose fitness problems have been more recent. Cleland. Well, Celtic had plenty of players to deal with that, and it was McNamara who tucked it back to the goalkeeper. CANIO. No golden boots tonight. McSTAY. On from Hanna. Here's O'Donnell.
Well, both teams, Mark, when they're losing the ball, are just dropping players off behind the ball, making life really difficult for the team with the ball.
McNamara. Well, he's suddenly come up with something a little bit more ambitious. CADETE is in there, and it spins away. Beyond Andy Gorham, beyond the post. CADETE thinks there was a claim for a corner.
That's a kind of half-hit shot. It certainly was worth a claim. Both he and McLAREN go for it. The ball's just spinning anywhere. Andy Gorham very quickly raises his arm. He knows it's not going to trouble the goal.
ALBERTZ. And McCoist in that advanced position for Rangers, ahead of Robertson as well. McSTAY. Well, amidst the well-documented tribal rivalry here, what we've got is a football match with a lot of individual talent in it. from STUBBS, or is it just run away from CADETE? They've taken up a good position to just run away from the defender, but the ball in the end bounced away from the two of them as Alan STUBBS put it into an area that could have been awkward for the home side.
Decent ball, good movement. But if you let that kind of ball coming at that kind of from that kind of distance bounce, it is just going to skip away from you tonight.
The CANIO flag has gone up for offside against CADETE.
Well, he just gets ahead of play, CADETE, about half a yard offside.
Well, we saw Rangers lose at Dundee United last month, their second defeat of the season, but typically they bounce back with 4 straight wins, 15 goals scored. Gascoigne's been in amongst the scorers himself.
Well, he's getting on the ball, Paul Gascoigne, in the way that Rangers would want, I think, Mark, but not in the areas that they would want. He is picking it up, he is going rather deep. I think they'd want him to pick it up 20, 30 yards further up the field.
Petric. Now ALBERTZ. Robertson with so many attacking instincts coming from the left side. It's got a free kick. The second that he's earned in threatening positions.
I don't think you can argue with that one. And there were 1 or 2 fancy this. No doubt ALBERTZ will fancy it with the hammer. Gascoigne.
ALBERTZ came here with a genuine reputation as a set-piece specialist. And Celtic's wall is 5 strong. But ALBERTZ gets it through! The hammer has torn Celtic apart.
You won't see many free kicks hit any harder than that. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome. This is goalkeeper's side. This is Stuart Kerr's side. But it's hit with such pace and ferocity. Goalkeeper doesn't edge to the right very far, does he, if at all? But that ball has passed him before he can move. Look at the goalkeeper's position. He sees it. It's on its way. Go and move. It's past him before he can move 2 yards. Awesome stuff.
Thunderous power, perfect placement as well. And Rangers lead Celtic by a magnificent Jorg ALBERTZ goal to 0.
It's probably just as well the charger didn't get in the way of that, Martin. 10 yards away, it would have probably halved him in 2. Such was the power.
And there's McLAREN here.
Well, McLaren's in trouble.
And CANIO. Well, Jim McCluskey has called McLAREN over straight away. And no sooner than Rangers are celebrating the goal, then they're now concerned about Alan McLAREN.
Well, we don't know where McLAREN just stuck his arm out. As he played the ball back, CANIO went on the blind side from where we're standing. Might not get a great view of it from here either, as he comes out. Couldn't quite see from there, but obviously referee McCluskey had pretty good view of that because he was right on the whistle right away. No hesitation from the referee. Blew up, free kick, booking.
Well, with McCoy's needing a bit of attention as well. That was almost unnoticed with the concern about McLAREN and his future in the match. And straight away, Celtic have got a chance to hit back from an identical position.
Well, they may not have the power of an ALBERTZ. Will they be looking for a little more craft?
Well, the CANIO is there, Donnelly is there, O'Donnell, the number 6, is waiting. The CANIO, oh, Gorham's fumbled, which is a surprise in itself, especially in a game against Celtic.
Well, it might have just been too easy for Andy Gorham. This is probably a bread and butter save, but it does bounce and he takes his eye off it. And how thankful he is for Alan McLAREN. We always talk about strikers going in. It's just as important that defenders follow in. Shots on goals, free kicks, for that reason there. Had McLAREN not gone in after it, it might well have been 1-1.
Well, you could have made a case at the start of play, even given that Rangers' 11-point lead, for a draw being a useful result to both sides. But the early Rangers goal has now put Celtic in a position where they have to do something that they haven't managed so far against Rangers this season, and that is score. Beaten 2-0 here back in September, 1-0 at Celtic Park in November. McNamara, Cadete. O'Neill across to Boyd. O'Donnell, Cadete. Jim McCloskey straight away pointed for a Rangers throw, and Phil O'Donnell may have thought he was going to get a Celtic free kick.
Not much argument from Phil O'Donnell, though. I always think players' reactions are pretty good, even in a game like this.
Stubbs. Easily read, though, by Petric. Gascoigne, challenged by CANIO. And that from Ian Ferguson. Right under the nose of the referee. On McSTAY.
Well, he's late. There's no doubt south of the border, Martin. That would have been a yellow card, I feel, eh?
No doubt. So here's McNamara. Headed forward to ALBERTZ by Gascoigne. Well, no wonder Gascoigne conceded the right of taking the free kick to the German.
No, you wouldn't argue with it, would you?
And he's now scored 7 times this season. Notice that they've also put him on penalties recently as well. From that sort of range, if he gets the chance, he might well pull the rigging away from its moorings. McSTAY. And Gorham knew that CANIO wasn't going to reach that.
Just got to settle Celtic now, clear their heads. That would have been a blow to them, losing a goal so early. It was a tight opening to the match. There didn't look to be much happening creatively in open play.
But it came from a forward surge from David Robertson, and here comes another one. Ferguson. Here's Craig Moore. He's going to have a crack. Ball bouncing over Cleland to be collected by O'Donnell. Gascoigne. Ferguson. Celtic trading space in midfield. Moore doing well against Boyd. Well, there was a lot of talk in the build-up to the game about a more cautious approach from Celtic, but they're in a situation now where they can't be too cautious.
I don't think the side's a cautious side. I said it might be a 4-4-2 formation, and it might not. It might be a little bit earlier than Tom Lloyd would have wanted, but there might be just food for thought of pushing Burnley a little bit further forward. And Phil O'Donnell getting a 4 in the midfield. Not early yet.
Petric waiting, number 4. on the edge of the area. McLAREN is up as well. Craig Moore making a run in front of both of those. An object going onto the pitch. Moore and Petric going for it. They want the goalkeeper now to Celtic. They've got a free kick. And Stuart Kerr grateful to hear the whistle.
I think it was. I didn't see Petric do an awful lot wrong here. He looks with his eye on the ball. He certainly went up very powerfully. Both are looking at the ball. Certainly the arms are up, but I mean, I've always said you have to use your arms as leverage when you're jumping. Difficult to jump with them straight by your side.
Boy, trying to get forward and give Celtic a little bit more in the midfield areas. Where Donnelly is. Out comes ALBERTZ. O'Neill. CANIO. And of course it was an early goal at Celtic Park 7 weeks ago. Of course offside here. That did settle that extraordinary affair, the last match between the two clubs. Heaven only knows how that stayed as the only goal.
Well, there's no doubt about this. There's only about 5 yards offside. But
Celtic cannot allow the same thing to happen again. Here's Donnelly. Now McNamara. O'Neill. Patient work from Celtic. CANIO, who's become such a favourite here.
That was better though, build-up, man, because one of the centre-backs at last joined in the play. Ryan O'Neill this time came up, because there's no need to keep three back when they're only marking Alan McCoy's. So whatever side the ball's been played forward on, when O'Neill can go and join on this side, Tom Boyd or Stubbs, more likely Boyd can go on the other. I think that's got to happen, situations like now. So give them that extra man. Create a little bit more space for maybe Phil O'Donnell wide, or Jackie McNamara wide.
CADETE. But easily dispossessed. It was Björklund at his back, but he's gone and got the ball for his side again. Robertson looks in control here. Ferguson, Celtic might nick it back. That was certainly in the mind of Hannah, but he didn't get there quickly enough, and it's Alec Clellan. We've brought you so many goals live on Sky Sports. Have we brought a harder struck one than the one you've seen to light up the opening 20 minutes here at Ibrox this evening? From Jorg ALBERTZ, by which Rangers lead. Archie not trying to get a message to the Rangers players. Just one or two examples, Andy. They've been overplaying a little bit in their defensive third. Ian Ferguson nearly got caught on the edge of his own area.
I think he was just a little worried about the central midfield there. I think they were indicating. Number 9, he seemed to be indicating maybe Simon Dorn, maybe ALBERTZ has just been told, hold on a minute, they've got 3 in the central area. We need to have 3 in there when we're defending.
Ferguson. McSTAY getting a toe in. Two around Gascoigne. Just had a lingering look at the incident after the ball had gone away, but there was no sign of retaliation. CANIO. he's getting a lot of players around him. ALBERTZ. McCoy's moving freely enough after that earlier injury. Trying to get the better of Stubbs, but it's out for a goal kick.
I think David Robertson's gone down. That challenge with CANIO. Tangle of arms and legs. I don't think there's anything sinister, but we often look at the power and the pace of free kicks, Martin, don't we? Just how quick was this one? It's gone through the computer. It was hit fiercely. Just over 32 yards. It was quick. Anything up approaching 80 miles an hour is pretty powerful.
Too quick for Celtic.
This was the incident, David Robertson, whether he just injured that shoulder as he landed. Yeah, it must have been. Looks like it could easily have been a free kick. It should have been a free kick for Celtic.
It looked like it definitely should have been a free kick. And it would have been subject to much more scrutiny had McCoy made a bit more of it further forward and really rounded off that break that came from the play-on signal from Jim McCluskey. Here is McCoy, needing some support, not getting it that time. Hannah was a player backed for a long time by Jerry Francis when he was manager of Queen's Park Rangers, but the expected transfer never materialised. Here's McNamara. It is a strong suit for George CADETE. His aerial work, he got a great goal on Boxing Day up at Aberdeen when Celtic came from behind, as they're trying to do at Ibrox tonight.
It's difficult to score from crosses from that kind of angle. Colin Bonds would like those crosses to be coming from maybe 20-25 yards nearer the goal line in that kind of area. But again, the possession's been decent from Celtic in the middle third. They've knocked it about, got it wide. It's that final third that they've really had trouble with against Rangers over recent times. Turning possession into goals.
Cleverly and calmly done by Gascoigne. Björklund, the Swede. Gascoigne solving his difficulties there with an expansive back pass. Gone. 25 profitable minutes for the league leaders, the long-time defending champions, against the side trying to wrestle power back across the city of Glasgow. CADETE, Donnelly. O'Donnell, and CANIO, trying for a trick or two perhaps as he takes on Petric. And gets the cross in, it's over CADETE, but it comes to McNamara.
It was a decent hit from McNamara. That certainly would have made Gordon work if Al McLAREN not got in the way.
CADETE not making any real contact there, nor did he to the cross, which was from a more inviting angle from CANIO on the left. There's no doubt that under Tommy Burns, Celtic have improved and developed the strength of their playing staff, but he knows that the fans want silverware, of course, but also they use the results against Rangers as their own personal barometers.
I think he'd take a bad performance tonight if it meant a 2-1 victory. You bet your life on that.
Yes, I think that's one of the truest statements you've ever made. any sort of victory. But if the Rangers fans, when they heard the team announced without Goff, that was not such a surprise. The news leaked yesterday. But without Laudrup as well, that was a shock to the Rangers followers. They might have been concerned. Well, they might be concerned here at CANIO. They'll have to do better than that to better Jorg.
It was promising, no Martin. His touch was lovely and the ball fed up to him. And he turned Petric beautifully. And this is a really, really forceful and driving run. Very strongest side, the left. Never looked like getting the shot into trouble the goalkeeper. It's far more positive.
Well, there's no doubt of the talent of CANIO. His problem in Italy, where he served several of the top clubs, was really producing it on a regular basis. The type of player who would take in team instructions and then actually go out on the pitch and forget all about them.
I've known a few of them.
Gascoigne brought down. ALBERTZ. McCoy's just pulling away. Robertson. Well, Rangers press back. Will they stay cool enough and be technically sufficiently well equipped to play this sort of keep ball without giving Celtic a chance of nicking it and suddenly seizing the chance to get back in the game? McNamara getting the better of ALBERTZ and Donnelly coming away with the ball. Here's CADETE, Björklund going beefily across.
Well, he won the physical battle and just lost out in controlling the ball. He was looking for Björk, and you could see that. He won that battle, but just overran the ball, just a touch.
Almost half an hour gone. O'Neill just leaning over the top of Gascoigne.
Half an hour mark and very, very few real attacking moves of quality. Can't remember either goalkeeper being too troubled. One stunning free kick.
McLAREN. Björklund, who's not too keen on crossing the halfway line, and will want to check back and will need to check back. CADETE.
Well done,
well offside.
Yeah, good defending that. He knew he was the last man, Petric. The CANIO was always looking to run in behind. And he just steps up, gets it absolutely right.
Well, there's been an incident with the ball being kicked by Goran, and it hit CANIO on the back. And CANIO is the player singled out by the Rangers fans as, and it's a compliment to him, really, the one they want to get at. Suddenly, it was an explosive moment. CANIO saw it as deliberate, which it might well have been. Only Andy Goran will truly know who's getting the ball up to where the free kick was to be taken from. Well, Celtic again finding it hard to curb the movement down the Rangers left of Davy Robertson.
He's been the best attacker on the field in the opening half hour. Davy Robertson has been the most profitable one. He's earned his side many free kicks in dangerous areas.
A deep one from ALBERTZ. A header from Petric, who's showing his power in that Celtic penalty area.
Well, it's a good header. A little bit more height in this might well have tested Stuart Kerr a bit more severely.
It's also a test of CANIO's temperament, this. Every time a tackle comes in, it's being greeted with great raptures by the Rangers fans.
Well, if he's got a suspect temperament, and one or two suggest that he has, well, it might well be severely tested this evening.
Well, he was sent off at the end of November against Hearts, but Celtic have had a real rash of red cards this season. They're into double figures. O'Neill. Andy, I'll watch the game. You watch CANIO for a minute, just to see in case something happens.
I have been marking both of them. He's just been chatting to Gordon Petrick. Both of them have just been having a little natter. It all seems to have settled down now.
McNamara, McSTAY taking over. Of course, has been in championship-winning sides for Celtic. Does seem a long time ago. Well, to him, it is a long time ago. Last won the title in '88. It's the last time they won a New Year's Old Firm fixture as well. A couple of goals from Frank McAvenny. Stubbs, but there's no pressure on him from the misplaced pass. Rangers regrouping in their own half.
That's what I think now. Tommy Boyd's got to go a little bit further forward now. Give Paul McSTAY the option.
Donnelly. The referee's got the rule here.
That's a booking, I think, for Craig Moore. It's a good ball fed through.
And he flattened Hannah.
There's no doubt that was deliberate. There's no doubt that's a free kick. And there's no doubt he's getting booked.
So for the second time, from a similar position, Celtic have a chance to equalise. CANIO wants the ball near the penalty area. The referee just threatening to produce the card for either CANIO or O'Donnell, who were querying the positioning of the free kick. CANIO, that's Stubbs, but it was all rather ponderous.
Now McCoy's did his job. He's obviously back there to charge it down. Offside just then, but he's obviously down. He charged the ball and he did his job really well. Stubbs has got a fearsome shot, there's no doubt about that. And Celtic will have worked on this free kick, played along the line like that. McCoy's was very sharp, very bright.
Yes, McCoy's made it look ponderous. He might want that one on his video scrapbook to show that he does defend. ALBERTZ couldn't get there, broken up by O'Neill. CANIO making up the ground, and Gorham waiting for the ball that never quite reached the penalty area. Had to head it away, otherwise CANIO might have nicked a goal.
Well, they got it right, but only just Andy Gorham. Obviously he thought that this ball was going to kick on through, it didn't.
Petric on Cadette. Free kick taken quickly. 10 minutes to go to half-time. The type of contest that only Old Firm games bring. Well read by Stubbs. Well, it was a long way off target in the end, but it was a show of ambition to typify Celtic's needs.
I mean, it's a dangerous, dangerous ball from ALBERTZ. Just plays it straight into an area where McCoy was always second best.
ALBERTZ furthest forward at the moment. Boyd tucks it away from him. Celtic had this long period of inactivity due partly to bad weather, also to calls on their international players. But they've got going again over the holidays with home wins over Dundee United and Dunfermline, and the Boxing Day comeback at Aberdeen.
I think that was impressive, Mark. Those were 3 games that I think Tommy Burns knew his side just couldn't afford to drop any points. He needed 3 victories. And I think that was pretty impressive to achieve that.
What was also very impressive was the amount of money raised for charity by the selling of Di Canio's golden boots. £58,000 for good causes for children. Wonderful.
We've never been short in the football world, north of the border, Martin. Getting lots of money for good causes, charities especially.
Well, he's worn the white ones before. Moore. McLAREN in space. Gascoigne joining McCoist in the Celtic penalty area. Two of them going in there and cleared by McNamara. A bit of room for Donnelly, who went and got it back after he deflected off Ferguson, and then Di Canio couldn't find the angle to get the ball back to Simon Donnelly. Coming up for you on Sky Sports at the weekend. Sky Sports 1. Third round of the FA Cup, of course, in England. Arsenal against Sunderland. They did extended highlights and other games as well. 6 o'clock on Saturday. And then from the Valley, Charlton against Newcastle, live on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Oh, look at that, for where the game has been played.
Midfield battle, one would suggest.
And very little in the way of attacking work for the side that leads. Ferguson. And he can have a go here. Kerr was plunging to his left again. The ball beat him again, but also beat the post.
Well, they've done that well today, Rangers. The one thing when they have attacked is they've shifted the ball from left to right really well. They do it again. They could have gone right to Cleland. He decided it was open enough and there was enough time for him to get the shot. Power was there, just lacked a little accuracy.
Boyd. Now McNamara. For so many of this generation of Celtic players, this is an all too familiar situation. Rangers leading the league and leading in a match between the two great Glaswegian rivals. Ferguson walking away. I don't know whether he was the player involved there. It looks as though he might have been.
You can see at the corner of the screen as the pass goes in. Certainly a solid lad, Ian Ferguson, there's no doubt about that. David Hanna just made a run right across the back three and just get caught a little offside.
The treatment goes on for Jackie McNamara, and Tommy Burns assesses what doesn't look like serious damage from a distance. Archie Knox went right to the edge of the Rangers technical area to talk to ALBERTZ and Robertson about something that's not satisfying the Rangers management.
The little thing it might be is Simon Donnelly, because he has been the one Celtic player in the last 10 or 15 minutes who's found himself a little bit of space in that midfield area and got himself on the ball.
He also played very well in the last game, earned that penalty that Van Hooydonk couldn't convert. Both sides, of course, failing from the penalty spot 7 weeks ago. It's a free kick that's produced a difference between the two teams to this point tonight. STUBBS. So much pent-up emotion for the players, which they're glad to have the release of when the game finally gets underway. Everyone wanting to be aggressive and all action. It's applying those principles properly that matter. McNamara. Oh, should be able to collect that. But the goal apart, Andy, there's not a great deal of difference between the two teams.
No, it's been very, very similar to many games that we've seen recently between the two. If anything, Celtic have probably again had more possession of the ball. You can see from the action areas they've had more pressure in the attacking areas. That familiar scoreline in the top left-hand corner is the one that I think worries the most. And that's late. I don't think the referee saw it though, Mark. I think he followed the play.
It was ending happily. You can see it there again.
Looked like he lost his footing, in all fairness, Cadette. Slid into him rather than anything deliberate.
Yes, the crowd react to every physical contact, particularly on a Rangers player, as though grievous bodily harm has taken place. David Robertson still feeling that shoulder from the earlier incident in the half. But Gascoigne and Cadete, there was no hangover from that incident a few seconds ago. As if Gascoigne might have given himself a New Year's resolution of calmness to all men. Most of all to himself. Cadete. And strong play by McLAREN. Gascoigne. Two running to the right for Rangers. And Collins skipped past O'Donnell. Craig Moore can go on here.
Well back, Brian O'Neill. That was a lovely break from Rangers. One of the best pieces of football of the night.
Celtic's attempts to come up with something similar of their own ends with an offside.
This is a great ball from Gascoigne. Waited absolutely perfectly for Cleland. Teased O'Donnell. That's good defending.
I don't think it could have been seen as a deliberate back pass, but in any case it deflected onto Moore before Kerr picked it up. Brian O'Neill, who made a costly error in the last game, certainly spot on with his challenge there. Offside.
It's always tight when defender and forward cross. The CANIO turns and plays it. I think he's just about offside.
Gascoigne doing 1 or 2 stoppages in this first half, but Jim McCluskey will have to make allowances for. Rangers trying to use the late moments to improve their situation even further. McLAREN. Cadete. O'Donnell. Celtic getting to this sort of position, but not finding anything particularly sharp ahead of their work on the ball in midfield. CANIO. It's a rather gingerly attempted tackle by Robertson, an effective one nonetheless. But he's one player who's got to be checked fitness-wise as he flexes that right shoulder again.
Yeah, he's got problems with it, no doubt about that.
But the biggest bruise at the moment has been inflicted on the hopes of Celtic by a thumping free kick. Donnelly. Cadete. Now O'Donnell. That was Ferguson holding him up. Boy. O'Donnell again.
I think that's what they've got to do. They've got to get Tom Boyd in those sort of positions. Further forward, allow O'Donnell to go even further.
Well, there's surely only a few seconds to go in this half as the corner comes in from CANIO. Goran comes with a strong fist, and he wants to go in looking for those who caught him. He had his eyes on the ball, so I'm not sure that he absolutely knew who he was looking for. Stubbs was the player who gave it everything and had an arm raised as well.
Well, he's not the biggest goalkeeper, Andy Gorham. He made it as I think Stubbs was going cleanly and fairly for the ball. When two people are coming in opposite directions, straight at each other, then there's going to be a collision. Stubbs looks to me as if he's got his eye on the ball. He goes to challenge for it. Certainly catches Andy Gorham.
And he's booked for it. Well, it's half-time at Ibrox. And the one goal, an absolute stunner. Here it is from Jorg ALBERTZ. A blur as it zipped into the Celtic net. And Rangers, in pole position in the league table, are in the driving seat here against the old enemy again. At half-time at Ibrox, it's Rangers 1, Celtic 0.
Goal attempts few and far between, though, and Celtic have had more of them. 6 as opposed to Rangers 4. Each hit the target twice. Importantly, Rangers found a way through, of course. Well, 3 booked already. Moore and McLAREN from Rangers. Alan Stubbs there right on half-time from Celtic. Look at that. Those action areas. Never seen that before. 67% in the middle third. 48% of the possession for Rangers. 52 Celtic, but they trail. Gordon Smith and Charlie Nicholas are our guests here at Ibrox. We said going into it, Charlie, it was a game that Celtic quite simply had to win.
Yep.
Can you see a way through for them on the evidence of what has happened so far?
Not in the current way that the team is lined up. No, I don't believe that they have got anybody with serious penetration or anybody that's done anything so far. It's the most comfortable I've seen Rangers defensively in certain areas for a long time in a derby game. I'm surprised Celtic are not a bit more. I know they're going to play a bit more cautious tonight, we knew that. But Phil O'Donnell, for me, needs to be moved into the central area and get someone else, even young Hannah, to play on the left side.
Let's have a look at the goal that separates the teams. A bit special, Gordon, wasn't it? Absolute screamer.
Fantastic strike. I mean, that's the thing about Albertz. He's got so much power in his left foot there. I think the wall slightly opens up for him, to be honest with you. I think it may be Jackie McNamara who's attacking it here on the edge, just decides to come forward. The Kerr has left very little space on his left-hand side, and as Jackie McNamara comes off the line to try and block it, he's half-turned on it, and I think by the time the keeper sees it coming past him on the outside, it's just purely the pace that beats him.
What was there to hit, though? A postage stamp, really, wasn't there? And he found it.
I think he's probably got less than a yard. I mean, Jackie has turned on it, but he's got less than a half a yard for accuracy there, and he's found it.
Are we being a little bit critical looking at what went wrong there? Should we not just be admiring the power, the strength, and a wonderful free kick?
I think so. I agree with Gordon's point in a way, because that guy's to block it. Jackie's there to block that post. But the power on that and the accuracy on the strike as well as the power was sensational.
There would be one or two managers there who would have a bit of a fault, would find fault with Jackie McNamara for turning his back.
But they'll always find a fault, wouldn't they?
Yeah, when somebody hits a ball that hard, you know, it's difficult to go out and face it, you know.
He didn't move out of the way.
Yeah.
Frankly, with that one coming at you. At the other end, CANIO, almost on the back of that opening goal, found a way through.
It just tries to hit the target, which she does, and very unlike Gorham. It's got to be said, the surface is very, very slippery.
I was just going to say that it's not the best in that 6-yard area, is it?
It's not. All round the pitch, it is quite wet. It's a wet top, but it's very unlike him.
I think the ball took a spin when it hit that bounce, actually.
McLAREN had given the free kick away.
Watch this, it changes direction in the ball. Watch as it hits the bounce, look, it changes direction slightly. And he's lucky there that Al McLaren's the first to react to it, because that could easily have been a Celtic player putting that in the net.
Rangers sitting on a win here, do you think?
I think they are comfortable. As Charlie says, the big problem that they've got is that Celtic are not pushing people forward at them. I know that's the way they've been beaten in the past, but really when you see the lineups tonight, Celtic now, I think at this stage at half-time, have to come out and change it.
It's 1-0 to Rangers at half-time at Ibrox. And that's how it feels if you're a Celtic supporter. Here we go again. It's Rangers in the driving seat, 1-0 at half-time. If you've just joined us, this is how they took the lead inside the opening 10 minutes. What a strike that was from ALBERTZ. And it stayed just like that. As Celtic take to the field again, Charlie Nicholas and Gordon Smith are with us. A quick word, Charlie, you'd change it around a little bit, would you?
I would bring Phil O'Donnell into the centre area. I think he can run and create gaps in the Rangers' defence. But I think if it stays the same, I think Celtic will just peter out. Rangers are in control.
Steady as you go then for Rangers, is it, Gordon?
Yeah, they just have to keep holding this onto this result. It looks as if that's what they want to do anyway. They're pulling everybody back. You maybe catch Celtic again on the break, but they must be comfortable with a 1-0 lead.
CANIO is never short of something to say, is he? OK, let's rejoin Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you very much, Richard. It might surprise many of you watching to know that since the Premier Division came into being in Scotland, which was back in the mid-70s, Celtic have actually won